So, I watched the Kevin Samuels with the black girl talking recap yesterday when I was at my desk doing all my work, had on my headphones, and was listening. And everything is generated towards the black man. Oh, black woman, support your black man. Black woman, you gotta uplift and stand behind him, not beside him. All these things. We as black women deal with a lot when it comes to black men. We deal with them being absentee fathers. We deal with their attitudes. We deal with them not having the ambition, the drive to go out. I'm not saying all, but in my community, this is what I see. It's very narcissistic attitudes, very inconsiderate, self-absorbing attitudes, and a lot of clout. Now, I do see more men stepping up to the plate, pushing the stroller, more at daycare, dropping their kids off, picking their kids up, showing up to these meetings regarding their kids when it comes to school and education. I do see those things, but not in droves as I would like. Not in the same comparison with women. Everybody said know your place, play your role. When it comes to a child, and I just want to be clear, when it comes to a child, there is no role, there is no place. You the mother, you the father. That is by given. That's by gender, that's given. However, the child needs both of you to be there. The child needs both of you to show up. Both of you to have communication. Both of you to act like adults. Both of you to have respect for yourself. The child equally requires the same thing. The same way the mom may do the birds and bees is different from how the dad do the birds and the bees. Or have the conversation about the same topic. It requires both. So to say a woman places this is the reason why a lot of girls have daddy issues. It's not because, well, let me rephrase that. It's not only because the father is not there. He could be there, but not physically there. He could be physically there, but not mentally there. Sorry, let me get it correct. You could be there, but you don't participate. You mentally clocked out. So a lot of girls you can hear and say, yeah, my dad was there, but he ain't do nothing. And still require daddy issues because he don't step into his role of being the dad. And the problem is a lot of moms have to do the job of being both the mom and dad in these situations. And there's a reason why women are more angry because we're more burnt out. We're doing a lot of things. And we got to take up the slack for what the other parent doesn't do. And that's temporarily on both sides if you're in a relationship when you have a kid. However, when you're doing it by yourself, there is no break. There is no me time. Our me time is considered sitting on the toilet, and even then the child comes in. Or our me time is considered being in the closet to try to get 10 minutes of just a mental break. So, black women, you say we're aggressive, we're angry, we do this and that. It's because we had to deal with this wager. We deal with this and men deal with this. And that's not by choice. We love to have this, even. But that's not the case. When it's always a 70-30%, the person that's doing the 70 going to always have the most to say because they're doing the most. We can't just go and say, hey, we physically here, but let's go checked out. And then the father's going to pick it up. No, we can't do that. And I've seen vice versa, where the father's doing everything and the mother is mentally checking out. Sometimes physically checking out. Our community, every community is different. It's structured different. They handle things different. Certain communities feel as though don't put your burden on to someone else. It's your burden. It's your situation, your burden you deal with. Other communities like, nah, it's our situation, our burden. So I don't see nothing wrong with being equals, because there's a lot of women that's the breadwinner in the situation, but we don't go about the same cockiness and attitude that a man would if he was a breadwinner. We don't sit up there. We expect the minimum that you're supposed to already by default to do, not by me telling you. A lot of the attitudes come from me having to tell you the shit you should already know. And you can't act like you don't know. We're not children. We're grown ass adults. Just like you know, if you go apply for this goddamn job, you know what that job entails. We shouldn't have to tell you, hey, this is your child's schedule. Please show up. Why should we have to tell you what you should already know? The same way we went and found out the schedule, you need to go and find out the schedule. But if it's a situation where you're not able to, or you're at work and I'm picking up that slack, then yeah, I'll come and say, hey, this is the baby schedule for today. You get what I'm saying? Show up. I got to be at work at this time. You're off. You do it. It should not be you're babysitting your own kids. That statement really baffles me, because I be trying to understand, how do a man babysit his own fucking kids? Like, babysitting is somebody that does it temporarily, that just do it for a few hours. You pay them. That's what babysitting do. If my cousins decide to babysit my niece or my daughter, they babysitting. Not necessarily mean being paid, but you're just watching the baby for a few hours. It baffles me that men be like, I gotta go babysit my kids. Help me understand. Not watching my kids, or I have my kids, I'm babysitting. It baffles me. But back to the main thing. We can't get it together because it's generational. And a lot of women nowadays have the attitudes, because we have to do everything. And then we got to come home. Not only are we doing everything for the family, we got to come home and then we got to uplift you. But when do we get the mental break? Oh man, I deal with this and I deal with that when I go out in the world. Motherfucker, we deal with it too. We deal with being called angry black women. We have to deal with being aggressive. We have to deal with the cat calling, or the men that don't want to take no for an answer. We have to deal with, even if I go out this is a plain V-neck t-shirt. I have a plain work pants and shoes, dress shoes for work. I can still go to the corner store and be catcalled. I can still be like, hey mom, grab your hand. Not everything is necessarily how you dress. So is at a higher rate for women that do dress a certain way for things to happen. However, nonetheless, it can still happen to any woman. I still have to deal with those things on a regular basis. So work overwhelms you, because we already be looked upon as being lazy, being aggressive, having an attitude, overworked, all these things at work. And yeah, it sounds like small words, but we all know it's bigger things behind it. I've been called, I'm in my 30s, and I was told, because I told somebody what their job entails has nothing to do with my job, and they need to do their job. I was literally told that I swung my neck and snapped my fingers and stumped my feet like I'm a goddamn adolescent. And that was told by a Spanish woman, that I did all of that to her. My thing is, like I told her once they came to me with it, that small situation of me just introducing myself, not with attitude, not with mileage, just like, hey, I'm Danielle. Oh, night, you such and such. Okay, nice to meet you. Now we can have a face to the person behind the email. This woman went from same tone, how I did that, to and stumping my foot. So it's already perpetrated that we're a certain way. And I had to let that woman know, you're not worth me even giving that much energy to. I just want you to know that it's quick and easy to send an email when you ain't got to see a person's face. But when you got to see a person's face, by default, I'm going to demand, not request, respect. You're going to respect me. So, that part. But we have to deal with all that stress at work. Not saying, oh, at home, oh, you could have been at home, housewife or whatever. Nigga, that's stress too. That is stress too. Kids, homework and washing clothes and taking care of the house and cooking dinner. Everything comes with something, right? So we go out into work, we make the money, we deal with that. We come home, we got to deal with the kids. We come home, now we got to butter you up because your ego is so fragile and so small, and so, if I say something, it's going to hurt your feelings. But what about us? What about us? Everything, oh, the black man this, the black man that, and the woman should do this, and the woman should do that. But we still dealing with the 730 shit. Not the Tyler Perry shit. I'm talking about the workload and everything. The responsibility part is 70 fucking 30. And it's always genuinely the woman's doing the 70% nowadays. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my job. It is overwhelming. However, nonetheless, I love my job. I love it when everybody do what the fuck they're supposed to do. Do their damn job. It becomes stressful when people want to put their work on other people, and then I gotta be the aggressive black woman when I tell them, no, isn't that your job, your responsibility? I have enough on my plate to do my job. So we get paid to do that. So what I'm saying is, stop doing this. Oh, the women need to play their role, stay in their place, and do this and do that. No, we need to be a team, a partner. Have a partnership, have an understanding, have a communication, open communication. And communication that I'm saying is a communication that doesn't point the finger at the other person and telling them what they're doing. How about you start communication off with what I can do, what you could do. Or if the ball drops in one side, you can go ahead and have the communication on the other side. Hey, I got this meeting I have to do, mandatory. You off work. Can you go ahead and start dinner? Can you go ahead and pick the kids up? That should not be a whole fiasco of a huffing and puffing attitude on why you can't. I just explained why I can't. Because I'm at work. I have to do this. You're not at work. You're home. I shouldn't have to debate with my man. If you're home and I'm at work, I shouldn't have to debate with you on what needs to be done. You should, by default, automatically, I got it. That's the problem with the community, is that it's lack of communication and nobody want to pick up the necessary responsibility. If I don't get off of work until 4, and the baby gotta get out of school at 3, and your ass already home by 1, it should be no reason why I have to call you to tell you, go pick the baby up at 3. Motherfucker, don't you know what time she get out of school? What should happen is the phone call that, hey, I ain't gonna cook tonight. I'm gonna go pick something up. If there's anything you want in particular, that should be the conversation. Or I'm gonna go take the kids out to the playground. We'll be home a little later. Or that should be the conversation. Not me telling you to go pick the kids up at 3 as if you don't know the kids need to be picked up at 3 and I'm getting off at 4. If I communicated with you, I don't get off until 4. Or better yet, I don't get off until 4. It shouldn't be no conversation on you picking your kid up. Why should I have to do that? That's the mom with the kid. Like, are you a part of the kid or are you the adult? You can't be a kid one moment and an adult the next. So you wonder why there's attitudes, and you wonder why women come off aggressive, I would say assertive, and all these things is because it's like dealing with another child. And you can't say that's not a man, because a lot of men, as you would like to proclaim, does it. All we saying is step up. Stop burning us out. We get burnt out too. There's a lot of shit we don't want to do. Sure, we want to go out to the bar with our girls and have drinks too. We want to sit down and watch TV too. We want to have company over and just be able to chill too. It's not no difference in what the man want to do versus what the woman want to do. The men want to go to the gym. Goddamn, we want to go to the gym too. We got a body to maintain. That's what I'm saying. So it should be a partnership. And first and foremost, communication. We need to have communication. So all these expectations in your head, what you automatically think a woman should do, or in your head, automatically what a man should do, needs to be communicated. And other things needs to be reciprocated. We should all have put our grown brief box